Hi and welcome to Easy Fishing. Now here we have, by my standards, not a long-term test because I've only had this item 2 years, but still a fair test. And what are we talking about today? Middy's Muscle Tech 6 metre margin pole. Now this pole is absolutely awesome. I have no doubt that this would cover just about every short range fishing situation you could encounter. So what do you get? You get a 6-section slim lightweight pole. Now I think it weighs, hang on a second, it will probably tell me here, 270 grams at 6 metres. Rated up to a Middy 30 elastic, which incidentally is about the same as Drennan's Mighty 25. You've only seen me use it once, and that was in an extreme hauling situation after tension carp in a really snaggy situation. And although I didn't get it out, you saw me play a large carp on it with absolutely no problems at all. It has a few peculiarities which I feel I should point out to you. Now the top sections are really slim, so a top two, which I have one here, this one's not elasticated, but the sections are very short and very slim. Incidentally, it comes with a flick tip which I've discarded because I don't think this pole is suitable. Now these top twos are the slimmest I've ever seen. They are drilled for side puller bushes here, but because I bought this pole for extreme hauling, I don't do that because I consider drilling a hole in any pole is definitely, in mechanical terms, going to weaken it, so I don't do that. So now the first problem comes to being putting a bung in here. Right, the top two are too narrow to put a puller bung in. That's why, I guess, why they drilled it sideways. Its total length, these top two sections, incidentally, they count the flick tip as number 1 and these as 2 and 3. If you want one and order spare sections, they are incredibly strong. I've absolutely no qualms about giving this some severe jip, and I've used 10-pound line on it and heaved like mad without any problems. So you can fit a Drennan purple size, the smallest of their bungs, in the top of this kit. So you can just fish a conventionally elasticated pole. I have it set up with a top 3, and this top 3, sorry, wrong one. This top 3 has a number 22 vest-based solid elastic strung through 3 sections. The top 3 on this are about equivalent to a long top 2 on a normal pole. Again, the sections are drilled for a side puller down the bottom of the number, well, this is actually classified as the number 4 section, has a side puller reinforcing area, but I don't do that. I have a good old Drennan puller bung, which I prefer rather than drilling. This is strung with a 22 elastic, 0.23 in diameter, which is a very serious elastic. At the top end I just have a Drennan Dacron connector. On the other top section I have the top 2 elasticated, would you believe, with a 2.5mm solid. Now if you think that a Drennan's pink rated 14 to 16 is 2.5mm approximately, this is a solid. This will give you an idea of just how powerful an elastic this is strung through. Have absolutely no worries about using it. What's the pole like to use? It's very light. It's very, very stiff, and I would say it is probably one of the better of the new generation, for want of a better expression, margin poles that are on the market. It's very cheap. You can get one for about £99 with a top kit, spare top kit. Spare sections are gratifyingly, ridiculously cheap. I think a number 4 section's about £30. So a top 2 I believe is 25. That's a number 2 and a number 3. It's important to remember that if you order spares for this pole, they count the flick tip as 1. And I have a top 3. Well, I have 2 top 3s, a top 2, and a spare 4 and 5 for it. And also I have 2 extensions. They're parallel, and they run the pole up to 7 and 8 metres respectively. They're £29 each. That is seriously cheap money. And at 8 metres, you've seen me lean into a big carp with this with absolutely no worries whatsoever. So one of the things that people forget about buying poles is that the cost of spares, and I don't just mean the top sections, I mean every section. These sections are cheap enough for you to equip yourself with enough. So with a margin pole like this, you can go fish for virtually anything. And it's not just a carp pole. You could take this top section, and they supply it with a bush. I've fitted on this one a Drennan large bore internal bush, but with the new range of Drennan ribbed bushes, you can put a ribbed bush in that has a smaller diameter for using with finer elastics. So just because it says margin pole, don't think that's all it's good for. This actually would make a great starter pole. In fact, it's better than a starter pole. It's a pole I don't think you'd want to get rid of, to be honest, because I can't see myself getting rid of this for a few years, if ever. It's ridiculously light. I mean, 275 grams for a monster power pole is quite awesome. And it is lovely to fish with. So spares are readily available. You have to order them from Middy via a dealer, but they are normally pretty quick to get here. And like I say, they're cheap. You could use this pole in any situation. I'd like to go and give it a try on the canal. I know it would work fine at 8 metres, and in theory you could probably stick another couple of extensions up it. I've not tried it. 8 metres is long enough for what I want, and I do have longer poles, but I'm confident it would make a beautiful silverfish pole. It has a lovely, virtually rigid action to it, which means it's quick reacting to bites. I think this is probably in its price range, probably one of the better poles. It's certainly equivalent to any other 6 metre pole I've seen on the market, and with the 2 extensions and the extra top kits, it's become a very versatile bit of equipment. So there you have it. Want a very, very, very powerful pole? This is the one. And it's made by a British company, Middy. I don't suppose for one moment it's made, in fact I know it won't be made in Britain. I've no idea what country it's made in, there is no, but your guess is as good as mine as to where it's made. But don't let that fool you. This might be a cheap pole, but blimey, it is strong. Incidentally, Middy describe it as a T-core carbon technology. And on the top here there's a little thing here, and it says power arc rapid hold action, and I can assure you it certainly does have that. It says it's an S-line super slim mandrel design, which it is, 270 grams, which it certainly is, 30 elastic rating, and then the last thing says T-core 30 STT carbon technology, whatever that means. But I can assure you, if you break this pole, you must have been doing something really, really stupid with it, because I think under normal fishing circumstances, even a 20-pound carp ploughing its way through the weed beds, as you've seen, it's not really a match for this pole. So there you go, another long-term review. In my terms, 2 years, not a long time, but I'm so confident of this pole. The joints haven't worn, there has been no problems with it whatsoever. So if you're in a market for a real monster of a pole that can handle just about everything you can think of, and will double up as a great starter pole, these new generation margin poles are something else. I suppose total cost with the kits and the extensions, I'm probably talking about, I think it was £99, or no, I paid £109, and I bought it after seeing a review in Angling Times by Mark Sawyer, and I bought it straight away, and I've got to tell you, this is pole fishing at another level of power. So there you have it. Want a monster hauler? Get yourself a Muscle Tech. It does what it says on the tin. Bye for now.